Yeah, thank you. So adding a Rust library to Gecko is quite easy. And however, depending on which team you are in Firefox, you are exposed to more or less Rust code. I have started in like the networking team with Gecko code base, and we had a few Rust libraries, such as the HTTP3 stack is entirely written in Rust, in the NECU library, and also some smaller crates, such as NSI URI. So the URL is also in Rust, and some other components. However, when I joined the privacy team, I am not in contact with Rust anymore because we only write C++ and JavaScript code. And this was one of my motivations to take a look at how to add a Rust crate in general to also work in Rust in privacy team. And if we take a look at the language starts in general from Gecko, you can see that Rust is roughly represented with 12% of Firefox code base and with a not insignificant 5 million lines of code. But in comparison to C++, JavaScript, and also C, this is still somewhat like a smaller part of Firefox. Next slide, please. So I want to motivate a bit why you want to write Rust. And one of the best motivations from me for writing Rust is that Rust itself rules out a few common bugs that can lead to security bugs. And for example, you can't do use after freeze in Rust, and so you won't need any like confu, dev grip security patches anymore. You can't do data races, so you can't forget to ask the question whether you need to log a mutex to access variables. You don't have null pointer dereferences, so all the pointers, including like the ref counted pointers, are encoded in the type system, whether they can be nullable or not, and you can't have like null pointer dereferences. And one other bug is like iterator invalidation, where in Rust this is not possible. We in Gecko are also somewhat can be happy that for NST array, this is also not memory unsafe. It's still like incorrect code. If you mutate the iterator while iterating over it, the code can still crash and you can miss items, but it's memory safe at least. And Rust in general also guards against other undefined behavior because Rust doesn't have undefined behavior in safe code. Next slide, please. And other reasons, like in my opinion, Rust is just a very well-designed language and has awesome documentation and also like awesome compile errors that guide you through your journey in Rust. Okay, next slide, please. And for this experiment, I took a look at re-implementing the copy clean link feature in Rust, which is like the context menu when you right-click on a link and it has like query parameters, which is a small self-contained or like small library which doesn't need dependency on Gecko itself. And if you have such a library, you usually want to split it up into like two crates. One for the functionality and one for the bindings to Gecko. And for the functionality crate, you just need one line of Moz build, which is like the final library here. And if you want to have like bindings, including auto-generated bindings from cbindgen, you need a few more lines, but it's not that scary at all. Next slide, please. And for bindings, we have two ways of calling into Rust, which is the classic cbindgen, where you have, which is necessary if you want to allocate memory within Rust. And it generates native C++ bindings, but it's only able to callable from C++. And you can also optionally also have XPCOM bindings where you are able to be called from JavaScript and C++, and you are also able to use Gecko native types such as NSString and also call other NSI interfaces. However, when you depend on XPCOM, you won't be able to use the Rust native testing framework. So this is another reason for splitting like the functionality crate from the bindings crate, so you can use the Rust native testing on your functionality. Next slide, please. And for the bindings crate, you need a few more files, the cbindgen.toml, and for this I suggest to take a look at other cbindgen tomls within Gecko to get inspired. And also, you probably want to have some kind of nicer C++ bindings which use for example, the class. And for this, you basically have a thin wrapper around the auto-generated types to be able to use a nicer function from like more C++-like code in C++. However, if you are doing the memory management, which is quite nice to wrap around the around the Rust code, you can't use like the constructor, destructor, and a copy constructor. But it's still nice though. Next slide, please. And last but not least, you need to also make Gecko depend on your crate to be able to use it from C++ and JavaScript, and you do this by including it in the shared Rust library. And all you have to do here is to specify the dependency and also declare the crate as extern crate in the librs, because we are still in the 2015 edition. If we would update to a newer edition sometime, the second part would go away. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is it. I am hoping that you see that it doesn't, like technically, it doesn't contain much steps. You can find documentation under these links. I've put the content of this lightning talk on my blog, and I want to also do a small step-by-step guide in the Firefox source docs. Next slide, please. Thanks for watching, and if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, and yeah, thank you.